And we're back. What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, January the 30th, 2019. Getting pretty close to 2020. So, yeah, a couple nights ago, I did a comedy and the whole set. Just getting right into it. I hope everybody's having an awesome day and everything. I just had something that was weighing on me that I really wanted to get off in a really good way. So, as this channel is, you know, me video documenting my rise to comedy and acting and writing stuff. I really wanted to get this out. So basically, a couple nights ago, I did comedy on Monday. And basically, it was all brand new stuff that I am currently working on. So it's on shaky legs. What I mean by shaky legs is I video record every single time that I go up. And whatever you see published is something that is pretty much fine-tuned. And whatever you don't see published, it's not because it's not on the YouTube, but it's on like a private list. So what I do is, perfect example, if there is the exact crowd of people, 10, 20, 30 people, whatever, at this place that I go to, or any place for that matter, if it's the exact crowd of people and I say 5 minutes of jokes, the next week I come back, I don't work on that exact set because it's not going to have the exact impact. So what I do is I start from a segue and I work from minutes like 6 through 10. And then the following week I'll work 11 through 15. And then on week number 4, because this would be 3 weeks by now, I go back to week number 1, okay? Those first 5 minutes, and I fine tune it. So what they don't see is behind the curtain. Behind the curtain, I'm taking notes, I'm organizing and everything. When I get to my house, I have a Microsoft Word document of everything, and I also have a video for it also. So as I'm going through the jokes, I'm highlighting. You know, you can highlight stuff on Microsoft Word. The high points, and I'm highlighting a different color, the points that were flat, the parts where it was just crickets, which tells me either it's too much, I got to take it out, I got to make it better, or just take it out at all, or maybe just remove it for something at a much later date, and I have like an archive Word document with all the jokes I've ever written since 2008, for like over 10 years. And then, so when I come back that next time, and it's week 4 now, okay, I'm working on material that I already know what to improve on. I already know what to take out completely. And if somebody hears that, they can tell themselves like, man, that sounds familiar, but it's so much funnier this time. Well, there's a reason why. The reason why is because, you know, I've said it before, but also watching and listening for the flat parts, I filled that in or taken it out. So now it's just nothing but boom, 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 killing. Just nothing but constant laughter. And that's the whole point of comedy, you know, the whole joke thing. I don't really like to call them jokes. I mean, I don't really know any jokes. All of mine, what are pretty unique. The guys who I really resonate the most with are Bill Burr, definitely, because his just temperament and just the way that I think. Joe Rogan, because of his crazy like what ifs, and I like Bert Kreischer a lot, but I would pretty much just stick to them too. But anyway, so I did my set, and I'm being completely honest with you. It was 6 minutes, and I had like if you broke every 6 minutes into like 10-second intervals, half of those 10-second intervals were just completely flat. Nothing. They're just crickets. Nothing was funny at all. But the other parts, there are these spikes, these huge spikes of laughter. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, I told my wife that I really would like to go to California, to go to, like, the Belly Room, which is, like, this famous comedy place, and watch a professional comic such as Bill Burr, or, and Joey Diaz. I resonate with him a lot too, just because stylistically, a lot of the stuff that he says it has a similar undertone to what the things that I say, but his is on like a whole. In my opinion, I don't really consider him a dirty comic. He just speaks freely, and sometimes words come out that are cuss words, you know. But Anyway, having nothing to do with that. He's the best. I mean, he's great. So in that order, I'd probably say Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz. As far as the ones that I really resonate the most with, stylistically, when I watch them, I laugh because that's my sense of humor too. And that's just how I do things. I typically tell stories, and I can also give examples or hypotheticals. That's that Joe Rogan side, like that crazy psychedelic, thinking deep into like deep space, random drop of knowledge, crazy shit, and then on the Joey Diaz side, when I say stuff, it's like him. It's usually like, it's dirty, but it's not like dirty comic stuff. And what I mean by that is like, it's usually like, it could be like, it could be some rough language, but it could be like kind of sexual in nature or something like that, or just something that's like, that people know and they just don't like really like to talk about. But it's so funny when you open it up, and you start to just look inside that, I don't need to give an example, but anyway, he's really, really great. He even wrote me an email one time, which I saved. It meant a lot to me. It was just a comedy question, and as busy as he is, he still took the time out of the day to write me. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, I came home and I knew I didn't do that great, but what I was saying about the whole going to California with my wife, the whole point of that, to watch professional comics on the equivalent of their open mic, which is when they're starting material. I would love to see a comic or comics where you see like 10 of them in a night for like $20 in Los Angeles at like the Comedy Store or something like that, or the Ice House, and watch them not necessarily bomb, but just have those spikes. Because the thing is, when you're working on a joke, and that's something that Joe Rogan talks about all the time, there's these flat spots, and then there's these spikes, and you got to listen for those, and you got to fill those in. That's your job as a comic. And I'm telling you, I love every single part of comedy, every single thing from the writing. I laugh my ass off when I'm writing jokes hysterically, and when I'm thinking about new ones and as new stuff come and everything else. So it's just such a gift of comedy in general is, but I love it so much. And then telling the joke, and then everything else. I said a joke for something that was already polished that I know works, and I said it while I was getting my oil changed my car a few days ago, and the whole place erupted. It was so hilarious. And then I left, and that was the best feeling that I had the entire day. So what I'm getting at is just being able to see those professional comedians work out something means more to me, because it's kind of like looking at if you went to like an ultra famous painter's house and you saw a painting. Oh, you didn't see a painting, you just saw a blank canvas with like some lines drawn on it. Now, in the way a painter that might inspire a painter, seeing a comic working on his material is really inspiring to me, because that's exactly what I'm doing. And there's a big difference between having a polished joke that works, or at least you say that works, and nobody's laughing, compared to something that are in like the really beta stage, early phase, and you got something there. You just got to keep working on it. And what I'm getting to is, I went to bed that night, and I went to bed at like 9 o'clock that night, and I got up at like 12, 2 o'clock in the morning, like 4:15, and then at 6. I got an awful night's rest, but I was so happy when I started my morning. And the reason why I got such a bad night's rest is because I went to bed thinking about something that I care about. And for the first time in my life, I'm truly doing what I want to do. And of course, the goal is not just for me, but for everyone, hopefully, to do something that you really care about and you're really inspired about. I gave a compliment to a buddy of mine who's a police officer just yesterday, because yesterday morning, as I was thinking about that, I was just so happy. And then all of a sudden I started thinking about my buddy who's a police officer. I know him from the Army, and he gets paid for it, and he loves it, and he's happy. And the equivalent of me having his scenario, not necessarily being a police officer, is me doing comedy full time. I never go to bed and think anything about my day job. I don't, not at all. I always say that my day starts before work, before I start working, then it goes on pause, and it continues after work is over. because that's my day job. That some people are passionate about other things in life, or some people are passionate about the work that they do. Well, the work that I do isn't for my day job, is not my passion. It's not my creativity. So I don't go to bed at night thinking about it, but it made me so happy knowing that I cared so much about something. That's why I didn't get a good night's rest. My wife asked me, why didn't I get a good night's rest? And I knew the answer, but I wanted to I was in like an analyzing stage, and I'm really, really analytical. And I was just thinking about it and everything. And I got really happy, and I meant to tell her. I'll tell her today, actually. But yeah, so I'm pretty much just making this video, not because anything bad happened, but just because of the whole catalyst of me recognizing that the reason I got a bad night's rest is because I went to bed thinking about something that I care about. And that just means so much to me. And, you know, if somebody said you can't ever work at Burger King ever again, if you can't ever do this again, can't ever do that again, or whatever my day job is again, I could live with that. Like I really could. I'd be perfectly fine. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't have any passion or investment in my job aside from the fact that I have a work ethic, and it's a day job, and I can do everything to standard, and or even you know, excel to standard or something like that. Not even trying, but that's just maybe where like statistically I might fall doing my day job and everything. But the thing is, I don't go to bed thinking about it. I don't start my morning thinking about what I'm going to be doing. I already have I'm very, very regimented in my schedule and everything. I have my lunch made before I even go to bed at night, so in the morning I can just pick it up and walk out. But if my buddy Josh, sorry, I'll omit this if you want me later, but my buddy Josh, he can go to bed and he can be thinking about a case that he's working on, or maybe a perp that got away, or something that he is emotionally invested. And that's what I'm so excited about doing, because I'm already carrying my my passion and my dreams and my desires and my inspirations of comedy and acting and writing into my dreams and over throughout the night. And it's really exciting because I know the only thing I really need to do now is just fill that gap between 9 to 5, which is that day job. I know I can be prolific in it, which is a big word, which basically says it means like make beyond your means of financial income. I'm not worried about that, but I just wanted to make this video because the whole catalyst of this video was the fact that I didn't get a good night's rest about it, and that made me feel so good, indirectly from something that, you know, happened for me not getting a good night's rest, which is prior to that, because when I was trying out all this new material, it being in the early stages, it had highs and it had lows, and I didn't feel bad about that because I know that's just a normal part of it. You don't ever try to do 10 or 15 or 6 minutes or 5, and every single second is filled full of nothing but you know, laughter. It doesn't work like that. You see, comedy is an interesting art because you can't have a beautiful voice and say a shitty joke and make somebody laugh. You see what I'm saying? That's singing. You can have a beautiful voice and have a shitty ass song with horrible lyrics, but people are like, that girl's voice is out of this world. She is amazing. But see, you know, and with rap and anyway, I'm getting off topic. But what I'm saying is that you don't really know something is funny until you start to try it out. And this is so much material. Usually what I typically do is I break down jokes and I try it throughout the course of a week or 2 weeks or more. Every place I go, gas station, grocery store, gym, you name it. And I have a better idea as far as what's working and what's not, and what to fine tune. But I went in last time very in the dark, so to speak. So next week what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to say jokes that I said 2 weeks prior, because I don't like to repeat myself. I like to see that change be a seamless transition, because I don't like to say the exact stuff 3 or 4 weeks in a row, because you're not going to get that initial reaction, in my opinion. That's just how I do stuff. If there's a comedian out there and it likes what I have to say and it's something that you want to do, absolutely. But the way I figure is you can actually work on stuff better if you work on new material and like just for 3 weeks, very most 4, okay, of like different 5-minute segments. Unless you don't really have anything, then you can continue to do that. But the way I figure is if it's a different audience, you can work on that same material again. But if it's the same audience, work on something different. Okay, because that initial reaction, again, I said I'm very, very analytical, and I truly, truly am. I record all of my sets, once I go back to that set, perfect example. Once I go back to the set that I did last week, and I haven't improved, I'll be recording it again. I would have had it'll be 3 weeks from now, or no, yeah, 3 weeks from now. I'm going to record it again. I would have already been working on and had the changes and updates, so it'll be even better. What I'm going to do with that video, I'm going to replace the last video with the current one, because that's the updated version of that exact, minutes 20 to 25 set. And why I say 20 to 25 is, like I said, I'm working on building an hour, and having the first 10 minutes are tight. I'm really working on minutes 11 through 25 right now. And I will periodically be going back, and I'm going to be looking for 10-minute sets, and then 15, and then 20, and then stuff like that, and building on. But that's my way of doing it. If somebody else does something different, that's fine. But to me, that's just how I do. And I just wanted to not just express that to maybe help somebody out, but also just get that whole thing about not just the beta phases and working on a joke and everything, but the fact that I care so much about it, I didn't get a good night's rest. And that means a lot to me. I'm not really trying to turn a negative into a positive. It's a positive into a stronger positive. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, please hit subscribe to the button right here on YouTube. My Facebook, everybody, I'm going to start using my Facebook the way people used to use like a MySpace or something like that back in the day. If you like this video, if you want to be a friend of mine, absolutely cool. My Facebook is Benja, B-E-N-J-A, well done, W-E-L-L-D-O-N-E. Instagram is at Benja, B-E-N-J-A, well done, W-E-L-L-D-O-N-E. And once a week, depending on if I get an email, if somebody emails me a question, you want me to keep it anonymous, I will. I'm starting to do like a Q&A, life advice, relationship, work, any kind of advice thing that you possibly want. I've had a lot of experience in a lot of different avenues. I've lived around the world, had a lot of relationships, a lot of successes, a lot of failures, having to do it on like the day job side, and a lot of other things. So, it doesn't hurt asking a random person for their input, but that's just where I stand. And if you want my opinion, I'll give you the absolute worst advice possibly imagined, in a funny way, and just tell me if you want to keep it anonymous or not directly, and then follow directly after that by so good advice. So I hope you liked this video, and please feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, and have a great day. I'm Benja, well done. I'm out. See ya.